Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome. It is Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info and Herringport Harcourt, number one talk station. I'm Dio. Yes, indeed. It's good to be here. It's very good to be here for a number of reasons. It's Friday. I like Fridays. It officially kickstarts the weekend, and that's why I think I also I have a sentiment for the Friday edition of Hard Facts. Yeah, and another reason in particular why I like today is I'm proceeding on leave from today, or from tomorrow, because I am here today and the show is on and I am on the show. But this will be my last show for at least a fortnight, about 2 weeks, be gone for about 2 weeks. And yeah, so that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. You know, having to wake up and not think about work, it's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling. Having to wake up and not think, what am I discussing today? What's going to be on the show today? Waking thoughts, checking the news, surfing the internet, what's going on, who am I interviewing, trying to plan the show. That takes a considerable amount of time, actually. Considerable work goes into what we do here. Contrary to what you might think, we don't just barge into the studio, turn on the microphone, and start talking. I mean, well, some broadcasters do that, but that's not the way it should be done. You know, some effort goes into this. So, not having to do that for at least 2 weeks really feels good. You know, but regardless, we will keep the conversation going always at Nigeria Info, and in your space as well, wherever you find yourself, endeavor to keep the conversation going also. The very many important conversations that we can and should be having. One of which is what the possible outcomes of next year's general elections will be. It's a very important conversation that all Nigerians should be having now. You should be having that conversation with some persons, maybe even with yourself, about making the right choice, about considering the antecedents of persons, about changing the cycle of impunity in our country. And if we're going to do that, we have to ensure we get the right people in positions. Very important that we do so. Anyways, welcome again. From now till 7, conversation continues, and you're welcome to join in. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. We're live on Twitter as well, at Nigeria Info PH. And yeah, I've got the phone number to call, by the way, will be given out later on. Quite a few matters lined up for today's discussion. Take you through them shortly on the preview of what to expect on the show today. I do have side comments coming up shortly, random stories and random thoughts that caught my attention. And let's see, not to be discussed now, but later on, after the major news at 6 p.m. I've got a rant coming up after that. Something in my mind, I've expressed some thought in it, and you're very welcome to express your thought in mine all the way to 4. Now, business news comes up at 4 p.m. After that, Bauer no longer an ex-convict. Yep, the EFCC chair is no longer an ex-convict. So if you were seeking to refer to him as that, you should have a change of heart because, yeah, he's no longer an ex-con. Court sets aside conviction of EFCC boss Bauer, Daily Post published that. The High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja on Thursday put aside the contempt proceedings and all the directives of conviction for contempt against Abdul Rashid Bauer, chairman of EFCC. Justice Chizoba Oji set aside the proceedings today after hearing an application brought by Bauer. By the way, Justice Chizoba Oji, same justice who convicted him. Very important to note that. The application was brought pursuant to Section 6A and Section 36(1) of the Constitution of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, Section 91 of the Sheriffs and Civil Process Act, Cap S6 laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2004, and other relevant enactments. According to the court, at the time of the order, Bauer was not in contempt of court as he had complied with the order that the respondent's Range Rover be released, and by several internal memoranda, the applicant had initiated the EFCC's internal mechanism to make the payment of the sum of 40 million naira to the respondent. We'll take a look at this matter in the 4 o'clock hour. I'll be asking you then, why does government take years or sometimes even never to implement orders of court? We'll get to that in the 4 o'clock hour. I'll also be joined by Barrister Richard Wokocha, Associate Professor of Public Law, Rivers State University. He'll join me for that conversation in the 4 o'clock hour. You might remember when he was convicted, I also spoke to Barrister Wokocha on the matter. That takes us to 5. The news update is up at 5 p.m. And Rivers, oh, goodness. Oh, I missed this one. I missed this. Anyways, story courtesy, I think this was on our bulletin earlier on today. Court dismisses another APC suit against Rivers PDP. Yeah, 2 for 2 for APC in Rivers State. They must feel like they're extremely out of luck at the moment. Federal High Court in Port Harcourt nullified another suit filed by the APC in Rivers State. Well, it's been dismissed. This time it was a suit challenging the competence of the PDP to field its House of Assembly candidates for the 2023 election. Justice Emmanuel Obile dismissed the suit for lack of jurisdiction, adding that the APC has no legal right to interfere in the internal affairs of the PDP. Our correspondent puts that the judge said the section of the law the APC is relying on does not give any political party the right to sue another political party. The court awarded 50,000 naira against the APC. Now, both lawyers had things to say on the matter. First, and I hope I have the sound for this. First, let's take a listen to the PDP's lawyer, DK Udena. He must be a very excited fellow, I imagine. But here's what he had to say on the court's position.
The court considered the case of the All Progressives Congress and came to the conclusion that the suit was actually incompetent. The claim was statute barred. They didn't file the suit within the time allowed by law, and they even had no local standard. Their only complaint was that the national chairman of PDP did not write his name as the person who signed the letter. He only signed in the name of national chairman. The court looked at the entire claim and found that it was not meritorious, and the same has just been dismissed.
Also, one of the lawyers to the APC, Emenike Bete, explained the contradiction in the previous judgment obtained by the PDP in all the federal high courts.
Today's judgment is one judgment where the losers are happy and the winners are unhappy, because the judgment has made the pronouncement on the interpretation of Section 285(14)(c) of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, to hold that it does not give a political party the locus to sue another political party in respect of their internal affairs. And that has been our argument in all the cases that PDP has brought against our political party, the All Progressives Congress.
I made lots of contradictions in that statement, but it does seem somewhat complex. Maybe we'll attempt some unraveling of this situation. But I'll be asking you in the 5 o'clock hour, what is the perception, your perception, on other parties securing fair judgment in suits against the PDP in Rivers State? We'll look at that. But I'll also be joined by Henry Ekine, he's a lawyer, national legal advisor with the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, which we'll have a conversation as well. That takes on till 6. We got major news top of the hour at 6 p.m. and open season afterwards. A review of all the matters discussed on the show, including my side comments, till about 7 o'clock when it comes to an end. And I'll be off for at least a fortnight. The sports gang will be in by 7 o'clock for extra time. So that's it, a preview of today's show. If anything changes, you will find out. Simply stick with us. Let's proceed right now with today's side comments, stories that caught my attention earlier on as I checked out the news. Were there a lot of those? I'm not sure there were many of those, actually. INEC says it will hold an emergency meeting over the recent attacks on some of its facilities nationwide. INEC's National Commissioner in charge of Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, said this in Abuja. He said the meeting will be attended by heads of all security agencies who are members of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, as well as the National Security Advisor. And I don't know, really. Well, it's a good thing they're going to hold this meeting. You have to do something. After INEC office in Osun State was attacked, INEC office in Ogun State was set ablaze as well. Meetings must be held. But like Olalekon Ege said on a conversation yesterday on the Ogun State incident, you would think that the police or security agencies would have anticipated a thing like this. I mean, it's not our first rodeo. This is not the first time we're organizing elections in Nigeria. I mean, by now, you would expect security agencies to know that we have honorables and excellencies who have structure, who have hoodlums and thugs, who would just want to destroy sin, sabotage the process, burn down INEC offices. These are things they should have known. They should have preempted this and put measures in place to ensure it doesn't happen. But I have a commercial break to attend to now. Stick around. I'll be back with more side comments shortly.
Express yourself right here on Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. From the economic capital of West Africa.
Dreaming of becoming a professional screenwriter, video
Welcome back. Still had facts info, and my side comment continues now. I was talking about INEC's meeting with security chiefs coming up, or security agencies coming up soon. And I was saying before the break, I mean, incidents like what happened in Ogun State, where an INEC office was set ablaze, should have been preempted by security agencies. I mean, come on, we're talking about honorables and excellencies, Nigeria's politicians. Did the police or the DSS literally think that we will organize elections and honorable will not send his structure, his thugs, to burn down an INEC office? Did they think that? Did they think that we are in heaven now? Or God has done it? I mean, how could they have thought that? I mean, it's inevitable. Honorable must burn something. Honorable can't help himself. Honorable has to burn something, you know. And burning INEC offices is one of the things Honorable has to burn. Besides sending his structure to shoot somebody else or kill or maim or kill somebody else, you know. So anyways, like I said, the meeting obviously is very much welcome. They have to hold meetings, and I hope they're able to figure out how to safeguard INEC facilities. Because Honorable, I'm sure, is not done burning things yet. Honorable is very likely on the lookout for other INEC facilities to burn. Yeah, they can't help themselves, really. Let's see. Was there anything else? I think that might be it as far as items matters that caught my attention earlier today. I think that's going to be it, I suppose.